anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at RootsChris.com or by calling 800-544-0808. PM show nationwide, coast to coast on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn.
And I'm Paul Stern. doing it the Ted Williams style. I said I'm doing it Ted Williams style.
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
Thank you, Ted. It's good.
Well,
I heard that.
Yeah, Ted's resting that voice as
Really?
he's back in rehab.
That's Pam McNeely, ladies and gentlemen.
What do you mean?
That's pretty good, Paul. I like it a lot.
He's he been on Dr. Phil the last 2 days, and he made a decision during the taping today that he needs to go back to rehab. He admitted that he'd been drinking.
I knew it.
During this whole thing.
I knew it.
Well, come on, you'd be drinking a couple of nips every now and then too. This is a lot of stuff that's going on, a lot of pressure.
He lied
When you're
again.
listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're
I said
listening
that's a
to
lot of
Magic
pressure.
98.9.
So, Ted, let me ask Ted a question, if I would, please. He's known as the Golden Voice, by the way. Ted, were you actually drinking?
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
You know, I hate to kind of say this, but and I hope it's not a kind of somewhat. I don't want to say insulting to our very own one of the co-hosts that joins us on the Friday edition of the PM show, the weekend edition that we tape on Friday, Scott St. James, because I noticed that he was a little bit miffed last week when this whole story broke. That well, I don't know. He seems to think that some of this. All that has been given, I guess, to Mr. Williams is somewhat undeserving.
Well, I think if they check out, like if Matt Lauer looks and finds out where those $20 bills that were in his wallet went after he did the interview, Ted's got them.
No.
I'm sure he picked up some stuff from the set of the CBS morning show. There were some band instruments missing, I think, from the.
Have you been drinking?
From late night.
Should we be checking you in
No,
somewhere?
I think there was some. He's been on everybody's show. Has he been on The View and everything?
Actually, Matt Lauer and Meredith Vieira had a conversation off camera about whether or not they should even have him on, and discussed it.
Really?
Because they were afraid that this is just adding fuel to the fire. And
Adding fuel, he never stopped drinking. He was fueling all the while he was doing it.
Well, it's just irresponsible being.
You're listening to Magic 93.9. You're listening to oldies.
You better do that one again, Ted.
But the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
Magic 98.9 is the best of oldies. They are the oldies.
No, I think he's a functional alcoholic. That's what he's.
I'm functioning fine.
I heard that.
And I just want to thank everybody for having me on their show. And I want to say I'd like to come back and do it all over again.
Hey,
if I could. Every someone told me to talk with my hands. Do it all over again if I could.
He could have pulled a Merle Haggard and not come out of the dressing room.
Has Merle done that before?
Oh, before. He does
good.
it almost every time.
So what's the deal with Ted, Pam? He's been drinking, right?
There was something that happened at the Renaissance Hotel in Hollywood.
He was taping. They taped the Dr. Phil show, and they brought in 7 of his 9 kids or whatever that he's
And then
fathered.
they found out that 3 of those 7 kids were missing because he stole them.
So he got into
Come on here with Uncle Ted. Sit down over here. We'll hold you for ransom.
He got into a row. With one of his daughters. Not a physical row. It was a verbal row.
That was the one that he traded for a pint of scotch.
I don't think he got that much for her.
No, he was on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, and apparently some of the band members' instruments were missing.
Oh.
Amongst other things, if you know what I mean.
So he's in rehab?
He's in rehab. Dr. Phil recommended
Check
that
it. Oh, Dr. Phil. Leave it to Dr. Phil to ruin a good thing. The guy had some kind of a gimmick going. He could blow him back and get all that money for announcing and everything. He was on his head to this show. He was supposed to be on this show tomorrow, and old Dr. Phil ruined it once again for
There
us.
you go. They haven't commented whether Kraft that signed him on to do the voiceover for a commercial, whether they're going to air it or not.
I mean, Hurley, or am I Ted Williams? I forget for Kraft.
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
Thank you, Ted. That's a good Ted.
Gotta use your hands.
Yeah, gotta use your hands when you talk. Anything else? That's it. So how long is he going to be in for?
We don't know. We were trying to guess where he was. My bet is he's in the treatment facility in Pasadena.
Yeah, he's the Dr. Howard Samuels. Thanks to the lovely Red, who's producing the show for us, Courtney. He's at the Hills Treatment Center in Los Angeles. The Hills. Do you know where that place is? I've never heard of that place.
I've heard of the Hilton.
The Hills Treatment Center in Los Angeles, and they said, this guy said he was not surprised learning he's drinking. He says the hardest thing for an alcoholic to have is to have success, because the alcoholic on a very deep level has a very difficult time with success.
Maybe he was celebrating.
I don't know what he means by that, because I won an award recently. And I just want to say thank you, everyone.
You're welcome, brother.
And now, what else do you have, Pam?
Well, in
Say
other
something
related,
else. Say talk. Say something.
in
Say
related,
something.
When
in
you're
relate-
listening to the best of oldies, you're listening to 98.9.
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
can't even
That's
get it
very
right.
successful.
I'm
Let me
obviously
have
not
another
Ted
drink
Williams.
right here. I got something else right now. Yeah, wet the old whistle so I can say something else. Here I go.
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
What else you got for us?
Well, I
Pam?
have in related
wasn't
prison.
part of it.
I have in related prison
I
news.
love this. This is
I've got 3 pages on prison news, by the
Pam
way.
McNeely has go. Good. Go. You girl. You go. Prison news.
Brett Favre's sister
Oh.
was arrested today in a meth lab bust.
Oh, that's worse than Ted Williams.
Oh, a
Going
meth
back-
lab.
back
I'm
on
starting.
the drink.
You know, I'm getting worried about Brett Favre now. This is one of my heroes.
You know,
I liked he and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger pardons that kid that knifed everybody,
Well, this-
and now this Favre's
Jack the
This
Ripper.
is his sister.
his sister Brandy Favre was
He
among
parted Jack the Ripper.
5 suspects who were rounded up in Mississippi
I hate when that happens.
today.
So there were 5 suspects that they rounded up at a meth lab, and one of them was Brett Favre's sister.
That is
Brandy.
that is embarrassing.
Brandy.
And this is
Somebody say Brandy.
Ted Williams.
Did somebody say
When
Brandy?
you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
Got excited there for a second.
well, and in keeping with
Take another sip of this right here. Go right ahead, Pam.
she's been previously arrested for shoplifting and unlawful use of a weapon.
See these themes. That's
It's
what
the Dovetail Show.
Ted
today.
Williams was stealing too, and she's stealing. And then they pick on poor little Brett Favre because he made some ludicrous comments to that woman.
No, he made a photo of his pee-pee and sent it around.
Damn it, he did that.
I'm sorry, I don't believe you can. Don't believe you can say that on the air. Here's the only thing, Toas, you can say on the air.
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
What else you got in prison news,
Well,
Pam?
in related-
Show's flowing now.
In related drinking,
What do you have? This is the incarceration segment.
in related drinking
called lockup.
news, Charlie Sheen had another
I've got
episode in Las Vegas this weekend.
What they
where he
shot
was
an
with-
episode of a show.
episode.
He was with 3 hookers, porn stars,
Oh, my.
and was
What
drinking
were they,
vodka.
hookers or porn
Well,
stars?
I'm going to say porn stars.
Okay.
They were drinking vodka all
Nothing wrong with
weekend,
that.
and he almost didn't show up for work. And now CBS and Warner Brothers and everybody, they're thinking about doing an intervention. This is now getting to the point where it's impacting his
He's
work.
almost as bad as that
Uh,
broadcaster.
maybe I could be the staff announcer on Charlie Sheen show.
When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9.
So Charlie is arrested again, or what's the
No,
deal?
he just it's now starting. He's a functioning alcoholic, is
He
what
said
they say.
he's the most functional alcoholic. I think when we come back, we'll talk about
there's
this.
big money on the table on this. So.
Big money.
There was until
Yeah.
Ted Williams grabbed it.
Have you heard? Proactive is new and better than ever. Stay tuned for a 1,000,000 bottle giveaway announcement. Do you have troubled skin, acne? Well, we have great news. With new Proactive, your acne can heal and you can prevent new breakouts from happening. Be one of the first to try it by giving us a call at 1-800-489-0682 because we're going to let 1,000,000 people try new Proactive risk-free and also receive our legendary refining mask and green tea moisturizer free if you call right now. You heard it. Be one of the first to try new and better than ever Proactive solution. You'll receive a 60-day risk-free trial, plus a free refining mask and green tea moisturizer. Call 1-800-489-0682.